What's up, everybody? It's your teacher Sam here, Mr. Sam. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope you're getting through this quarantine and all that fun jazz. And we don't want to stop our lessons. We want to keep going. So I'm going to start posting these drum videos so that y'all have something to work on. I want you to continue to practice this. When you come back, you got no excuses, okay? I want you to know this stuff. Practice every single day, even if you're only taking 5 minutes out of your day, okay? But obviously, the more you practice, the faster you'll get better, okay? So, here's what we're gonna work on. First, remember proper stick handling, okay? So we're holding our stick in between our index finger and our thumb. We want about 1 inch to 1.5 inches hanging out of the bottom, 2 inches tops, okay? You can even do this by positioning first, then pinching. Okay, I'm pinching like this, and then we're rolling the stick into our finger like that. Then you can readjust, right? But you want your thumb right on top. See that? My thumb is still pressing into it. And now my index finger is wrapping around just a little bit, but I can still see the fingernail. So when we position our other fingers around, we are loosely holding onto it, but you don't want to squeeze. You should be able to still see your fingernails. Okay, your fingernails should still be able to be visible. If you're squeezing like that, that's too hard. Make sure your fingernails are out. Okay, you're pressing in, fingernails are here. We want our knuckles on top. What do we say? We make our house, right? Then we lay our house down, open the roof, okay? Now we're in position, knuckles on top, and the reason why is because we want this bounce back. Hear that? It's going in between my fingers and my palm. And if our thumbs are on top, it doesn't always have the same bounce back. And it's not to say that working with different techniques, you won't have your thumbs on top, because that's not true. But in the beginning, I want your knuckles on top. It just helps control and stabilize things. So why is this always so important? For many reasons, but especially now when we're talking about rolls. What are rolls? Okay. And what we're really talking about is double stroke eighth notes. Okay, double stroke eighth note rolls. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1 in, 1 in, 1 in, 1 in, 1 in. Well, that left hand, you're right. So when you're working on this, your non-dominant hand in the beginning will have trouble catching up. So if you're noticing that when you're doing these rolls, your left hand, or your non-dominant, whichever your non-dominant is struggling, then you need to stop and just focus on that. But what we're doing is we're going back and forth, and we're just allowing it to drop, okay, until it stops. And when we do this, when we're normally playing, right, we're using our wrist and we're bouncing it back and forth, okay, like this. Now what I'm asking you to do is open your grip. It doesn't have to be out here, but I'm just showing you, okay? We're gonna loosen these fingers up, and we're gonna allow it to bounce. We're also gonna do something I call breaking the wrist, okay? So we're normally doing this, right? Now I'm asking you to do this, to drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up. Okay, you bend that wrist, and it's just gonna allow it to bounce until you make it stop. So like this. Also, the height in which you hit it, there's a lot more to this, right? The height, the velocity, pressure being like how much pressure you're applying to the hold of your stick, okay? So if we want really big, just hit my drumstick, really slow hits, my grip here is way looser, my wrist is very loose, okay? Okay, if I want to go a little faster, this tightens up a little, my grip, my pressure tightens up, my wrists are just a little bit more, they're still breaking, right? But I'm not bringing up as height. So I'm changing my height from here to here, okay? And if I want to go even faster, what we say, faster does not mean playing harder. It means that the height is changing from up here to closer to the drum. So if we want to play faster, right? You can see the difference between my notations and the height, right? Now we're doing that same thing, but now we have to apply pressure, okay? So we have our height, and then changing it, everything's tightening up a little bit more. And right here, see, I'm barely dropping my wrist at all. Everything's tighter, my grip is tighter, okay? So these are all things that you have to practice. So in the beginning, we're loose, we're loosey-goosey, okay? We're letting our wrists do the work. We're not raising our arms, okay? We're not doing this motion, we're just doing all on the wrist, okay? And we're doing like that. Okay, once it stops, pick it up, let the other one go. But again, if you notice that your non-dominant hand is bouncing around, or it's not doing it with the same precision that your dominant hand has, then just take that dominant hand out of the way and work on the non-dominant hand until it gets it right. Okay, we're not trying to control the amounts of hits right now, we're just letting it go until it stops. Okay. Okay. The next step is putting them together. Okay, so when one ends, when it starts to fade, you're picking it up and the other one is hitting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm not trying to control, but we're not there yet. Okay? So we're just putting it together, that's all. You can work on your speed a little bit, but we're not to our precision yet, right? So it sounds nasty right now, right? It's not sound good. So what we want to do eventually, the next step, okay, is controlling the amounts of notations that we're playing. So we're going for double stroke rolls. So that means 2 hits, and that's it. So it means you got to drop and then pick it up. Okay, don't let it bounce anymore. Now you're just trying to get 2 hits on each hand. Okay, get a couple in on each one. 3, 4. If you mess up one, start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe just start with 2 in the beginning and then go for 4, because it's going to be tricky for you to get them. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, and then I mess up. Crap, I got to start again. 1, 2. Okay, good. Keep going back and forth, right? So we're controlling it now to a double stroke. Okay, now what we want to try and do is put them together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And in the beginning, the precision's not there, right? I'm just trying to control. 2, 1, 2. There we go. You just got to keep playing with it until you find it. And slower is harder. The precision is much harder to maintain here because of the looser grip. Okay, we're not used to having such a loose grip on things. So these slow ones are hard. And also my height. Look at my height. When I start to speed it up a little bit, the height changes, right? And I'll say it right now, this is not my strong point. Okay, these are not like working on slow double stroke rolls is not something I do all the time. So it's a little bit easier the faster you go. Remember, precision is what's most important. So you don't want to lose your precision. I can go faster, look! That sounds like garbage, right? We want it to sound good. Okay, speed means nothing without precision because you're just playing something bad faster. So make sure you have your precision, whether it's 3 steps that we talk about, learn the mechanics, then precision, then speed. Speed is last. And when you start to work on speed and your speed gets here, but your precision isn't quite, you're kind of going together and then your speed starts to surpass your precision, you need to go back and work on that until you can get your precision to match your speed the faster you go, okay? So you just keep working on it until it matches up, okay? The next step is we're working on going from single stroke quarter notes to double stroke 8-note rolls, right? I think that's the technical term again. I'm a drummer that plays by ear, so sounds right to me. So what we're doing is 1, 2, 3, 4 single stroke quarter notes. That is what that is for sure. And then we're going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I already messed up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This is where I want you to get to. This should be your goal. Not, I mean, if you want to get there, but I feel like if you're trying to get there right away, you're just going to be playing it badly, but faster. So my goal for you is right in here. I don't know what the BPM is because I don't have a metronome that's not associated with my phone. So nothing I can pull up, but I'll find out and I'll post it on this video. Right here, that's what I wanted. Ooh, messed up. Okay, that's it. Yeah, so that may not seem like a lot to work on, but that's a whole lot to work on because doing double stroke rolls, specifically double stroke rolls, is technical, it's advanced, and it is very tricky because you're talking about, like I said, pressure plus velocity plus, what was the last thing? Pressure plus velocity plus height, right? The height that well, that also could be velocity, but yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. So this is complicated because of all of the elements, okay? It's a lot more finesse and there's a lot more technical approach to this that you have to work on. And that might sometimes get frustrating or boring to you, but you gotta press past that so that you can get to that point where you're using this fluidly, okay? Because there's a lot that you can do with rolls of any kind, okay? There's a lot that you can use these for. So it's really important for you to practice this and get it down. So, all right, that's it for today. I hope that y'all are all maintaining your sanity and hopefully this helps. Remember, try and practice every single day, even if you're only taking 5 minutes out. But again, the more that you practice, the faster you will get better, okay? So if you're frustrated with not getting better faster, then work on it more, And sometimes when you get frustrated, you gotta step away from it and then come back to it, okay? You gotta give your brain a chance to catch up, you know what I mean? You'll be surprised if you walk away for a couple hours and you come back, you'll be surprised how much you've actually retained and how much you're able to do now. But you got to get away from that frustration because it's not the longer you do it consistently, the better you get. The longer you do it consistently, usually the more frustrating and more difficult and worse it's actually going to get. So you got to get to that point where you're doing great. When you start to go down south, that's when you got to walk away, give a couple hours or even a day, come back, and then you'll be surprised how much you actually retain. So again, I hope that everybody's doing well during this craziness in this time. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see y'all back when the season starts back up. All right.